Yeah, showing wealth.
And a lot of these watches that we'll see today, you've had for a long time. I mean, even longer than Hodinkie's been around.
Yeah, longer than 10 years. And I think that's important to point out, that the value, or whatever people say, of some of these watches would make them prohibitive for me to own all these now.
And so we have a lot of Daytonas here.
Yes.
So the Daytona is a big part of what you do, what you love. Should we go through a few?
Yeah, absolutely.
Why don't we start with this guy here?
This is a 6265. So fairly later on into the lifespan of the Daytona. Mm-hmm. And of course there is a burning, passionate love for Arab branded dial.
Indeed.
Rolex, especially Daytona. And this has the Omani Khanjar, I believe they call it. Mm-hmm. And it's in the 6 subdial. It's green. It's kind of pot leafy. There's something about it from afar. It's a little pot leafy, is it not?
And you have some other vintage Daytonas here that really are kind of the benchmark for collectible Daytonas.
Yeah, they're the, I didn't know it at the time really, but they have become the cornerstone of a collection. I mean, I can't lie, it's been amazing to watch the numbers go up on them. Remember, I was buying watches and trying to impress upon people around me that I promise I'm not crazy, right? Sure. So I would, email a business manager and be like, can you please, I promise you this is important, can you please just, can we get this? And it's like a business manager, for those who don't know, is a dad that you hire to ask for money. Rolex releases a white gold and a yellow gold Daytona with a blue and green dial, respectively. Any other year before, if we had found out that Rolex was going to put out on an all metal watch, a colored dial, I just went, how does nobody notice this? And I bought this from a dealer.
From an authorized dealer.
From an authorized dealer. And he sent it to me and he said, well, you're pretty crazy because I just found out that we can't get another one of these for a really long time and people kind of want it. And I went, yeah, I know. I enjoy looking past the hype and going, wait a minute, that is empirically really special.
Yeah,
so
it's objectively rare.
Yes.
So let's finish off the Rolexes. We've got a few subs actually.
Yes. I'm a big collector of Comex Submariner and Sea Dwellers.
In the last video you showed a 1680 Comex.
Yes, which I still love, has a great story behind it. Well, the original Comex is what's called a 5514 reference, and that would be the prototype to the Sea Dweller. And that would be a Submariner with a helium gas escape valve. Why do I love that so much? Because it would be really hard to fake it. It'd be really hard to take a 5513, install your own helium escape valve, those garage helium escape valve jobs, and stamp it Comex on the back.
Right.
And so that is the perfect example of a Comex, which is Comex, a French diving team, needs a watch that can saturation dive deeper than a Submariner. And so this is Rolex's initial answer, which is, well, here's a Submariner that we think solves the problem.
Right. And this one looks just like a normal 5513.
Yeah, of course, everyone knows, I think a GMT is just the greatest. I think in some ways it's kind of cooler than a Daytona. Application-wise, a GMT is so exciting. It's world ready. It's like, let's go.
Yeah, it really is.
And I decided to have the back engraved with a Grateful Dead Steal Your Face Steely on the back.
That's sweet.
I've been in the band long enough now that I can kind of admit that it was always a little secret talisman on my wrist, a little good luck to myself.
Sure.
Like, a little don't screw this up, It was awesome. Engraved upside down. A lot of engravers, when they engrave the back of a watch, believe that the crown being on the right would be the back of the watch, but that means the watch is upside down. How perfectly Grateful Dead is that? It's upside down, man, and that's just fine. And I can point to it, and now they're like, now they're going crazy, and I look at it and I go, well, that's cool, but I don't want the money. I want the watches. Right.